car audio amplifiers come in a bunch of different sizes, shapes, power ratings, flavors, and what I kind of consider to be sort of gimmicky things like color changing LEDs and whatnot. Well, I came across this amplifier here, and it claims 1920 watt. Yeah, right. That's peak music power output, most likely. So anyways, it's made by Acoustik, blah blah blah. The details of this don't really matter too much. What got my attention is the fact that down here on the bottom right corner it says Plasmasphere, and then it's got this big circular window in the middle, and I'm just thinking to myself, okay, yeah, they're probably just, you know, calling this a Plasmasphere, but it's probably really just like some sort of like LED lamp or something, or like, you know, like this whole disc, like, you know, lit up by LEDs or something. That's what I'm thinking. So I got curious and decided to remove the back of this thing just to see what exactly it was. And to my surprise, this is what I saw. Right there in the middle, there's an actual tube. So that means that this is one of those like one of those little lightning like plasma disc things. So they actually stuck a plasma disc thing inside of one of these amps, and this little box right here is what I'm pretty sure the high voltage supply, and this is the high voltage wire going to that lamp. So I don't know if this amp even works or not, and that's a look at the rest of the inside of it. So each one of these sections this is a 2-channel amp. So this right here would be 1 channel, and then down here another channel, and then we've got our diodes right here, rectifiers, power supply section, and all that stuff. So down here where this little block is, which I'm pretty sure it's the power supply for this thing, we see we got a couple wires here. We got a red wire there, we got a black wire back here, so I'm pretty sure that that's positive and negative, and then there's a brown lead that comes over from this section of the amp that I'm pretty sure that's going to be like the audio input for this, because apparently what's supposed to happen with this, it's supposed to like flash to the music. So I'm guessing we can apply power and try it and see if it even works. Like I said, I don't even know if this amp works or not, and see if it does anything. What I find kind of funny about this is it's Plasmasphere, but you know, really it's a disc, so sphere. Yeah. Anyway, so I hooked up some power to it, and I've got audio coming in here. Like I said, I don't know if this thing powers up or not. We're gonna find out. There is an LED on this side here that's supposed to be green when it's powered up, and red if it's in protect mode. So that would mean that maybe it's like shorted or something. So let's turn on the power supply and see what happens here. A whole lot of nothing. Guess we're not gonna have any luck with this. Let's see. It's got 3 fuses, but they all look like they're. Are they okay? Oh no, the fuses are blown. Well, one of them is. So yeah, it has 3 fuses, but they're all dead, so I'm guessing it must have a short or something in there. I didn't even think about checking the fuses at first. I just thought, you know, it might have been okay, but this isn't really something I'm worried about fixing or anything. So let's just stick a fuse in there and see if maybe it blew because this thing is shorted inside, or if it blew because it was overloaded or something. So this is my remote lead. I'm not going to turn that on yet. I'm just going to turn power on, and we'll see what happens to that fuse. Nah, yeah, it's shorted. Power supply overloaded. Well, that was kind of a bummer, but let's not get discouraged just yet. Let's see if we can make this thing work by itself. So there's 2 screws in here holding this thing down. Looks like we can just remove these 2 screws, and then this should just come up. And there it is. So this is the step-up supply for that plasma disc. And so what we have here, let's get a little closer here. So we have a really basic, just step-up power supply. So this is going to be our high voltage step-up supply here. Transistors to drive the transformer. This is probably a choke for the input right there. And they put some adhesive right here to hold this positive, maybe partially used as insulation. And that little brown lead right here looks like that's going to be our input that goes through this section here. So this would probably be taking care of doing like the switching for the, or to like, you know, allow this thing to operate like when it pulses or whatever, like depending on the input signal there. So yeah, just really basic looking step up power supply there. Nothing super complicated. One other thing that I'm not entirely sure about is the fact, you know, using a high voltage power supply like this inside of an audio amplifier just seems kind of meh, I don't know. But looks like what we might be able to do is just take these leads off the board there, apply power directly to them, and then provide an audio signal to this brown one, and we can see if we can get that tube to work. Also, I want to kind of take this board out and take a look at the underside of that disc there. Alright, I've removed all the brackets here that hold down all the power components, and the screws that hold these end plates on here, and there was another screw over here, so it looks like this should just lift up. And I've also desoldered the wire that goes to the power supply there to the tube, so this should just pop up, hopefully. And yeah, it's going. Oh, no, forgot one screw right here. Okay, now it should go. There we go. Okay, there we are. So, there's the amp itself. That's the bottom there. Get all the huge gobs of solder down on those traces there. Looks like what they've done to feed audio into this step-up supply here is they have each channel. Let me zoom in here a bit. So both channels feed into here by way of a resistor here, and then a diode, and then that goes off to the input of the power supply. So here is the other channel coming in through here, and then to the diode. So they're getting audio from both channels going into the one lead. So that should be pretty simple to deal with. Ew, look at all that crustiness all over the place. Jeez. Okay, so here's the power supply removed, and there is the underside of that big tube there, or the disc, whatever you want to call it. So I'm pretty sure that this probably needs to be grounded on this casing here, and I think that's why they have this. Oh, anyway, right here there's a metal, where is it? Right there. I'm fairly certain that that's probably going to be a ground for the, well, it's a ground for certainly for the casing. It's not grounded directly, but it looks like they have it going through some caps here and stuff, so I'm not sure if that's going to be a big issue or not. This is kind of besides the point of this video, but look how bad this is. All that right there, that's metal shavings that I'm pretty sure probably from the machining of these holes, or I don't know, machining, but, or you know, like when they tapped them or something. There's not as many over like on this side, but there's a ton like right here, and then on the opposite side, I show it right now, and if I tip this over, this is going to fall out because I already removed the screws. But down, well, maybe I can dip it a little bit. But down here, you can see it as well. Like all these metal shavings, you can see them right there. So that's just bad. So anyways, I've removed this, forgot one again. Okay, that's out. So this plate here looks like it should just lift off there. And that's just the bracket to hold down the disc. And that is our plasma sphere itself right there. So that's just like a decorative chrome bezel right there. Then it's got another film right here, this dark film. Kind of like a, looks like a polarizer almost. Not sure if it is polarized or not. And that right there is the disc itself. We said there's a bunch of tiny little balls all in there. So this is like a vacuum tube of sorts. there is our either, well, I'm guessing it's going to be a cathode. So that goes right into the center there. So this is it's pretty thick glass, but it's not a single piece as we can see here. It's two pieces bonded together. So let's hook this up and see if we can get it to do anything. I'm kind of hoping this isn't dead. It might not be too visible there, but this area is like a little dark. You can see we've got a little bit of a darkness right here too, and it looks like these maybe just get like pretty hot. They don't look like they're blown or anything, so I'm hoping they're okay. That maybe it's just during normal operation they got pretty warm. But these joints are looking a little dry, so hopefully nothing is bad with it, and we can still do our little experiment here. So after tracing it out on the board there to see where the negative to this power supply went, I realized that what they're doing here is they're capacitor coupling the ground to the rest of the casing there. So I'm going to put a lead from the other side of this capacitor. I actually took this right off the board. So from this capacitor to the metal here, and that should provide that coupling. And then this one here looks like it just goes directly to 12 volts. So I'm going to have a red alligator clip coming from here, going to the negative on my power supply, and then I'm going to have this one here going directly to positive, and that should do it for that. And then I just got to plug this into the output of another amplifier, because the output from the amplifier is going to be somewhat kind of a high voltage there. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it just plugging it into like the headphone output on my phone or whatever. And then also the negative here is going to have to be hooked up to one of the outputs from the amplifier, or yeah, like the minus, or what would basically be like the floating ground output of an amplifier. So this one here and the brown one are both going to have to go into an amplifier. Alright, so I've got my 3 leads coming out of here. I can't really easily show you the bottom here, but it's just kind of the little power supply board itself is just kind of resting on the mat, and that way I keep it from touching anything like behind the tube. So that's all in place. I've got all these hooked up, so now I'm going to try just applying power first and make sure that nothing goes up in smoke, and then if that goes okay, then I'll hook these up to audio. Okay, here we go. I'm turning the power supply on, but I don't have it connected just yet, and I'm applying power now, and so far so good, nothing up in smoke. Let's see if touching this does anything. Nope. Let's touch it to the 12 volt here just quickly. Nothing. Nope. Okay. I'm not sure if that's a good sign or not, but it's not doing anything. So, all right, let's hook this up to an output of an amplifier. Okay, we're gonna hook it up to the output of this little PA amp here, and we're gonna hook up the negative to, or the ground, to the common right here, and then I'm gonna try it on the 25 volt output here. This it's basically meant to, you know, drive like a bunch of speakers and stuff, so they have like various different outputs here. And the reason this has an antenna is because I had put a Bluetooth module in here, and it doesn't work very well, but it sort of works, so I'm hoping that it should work, and I'll just play something on my phone and we'll see if we can get that thing to do anything. So let's just kind of put this off to the side over here, and we'll hook up our, well, let's turn it off first. Okay, for the common here, I'm just going to use this green for ground. I'm going to hook this up to the negative down here. I'm just going to clip everything together. Like I said, we're just playing around here. We're not doing anything serious. So we're going to hook this up to 25 volt output. I'll make sure that the volume on the front's all the way down, and it is. Okay, so let's see. My phone, let's make sure the Bluetooth connects here. I'm going to turn it back on. Okay, it's not connecting. Boo. Okay, it looks like it connected, so I think we should be okay. Okay, let's see. Alright, I'm going to turn the power supply back on now. And let's play We Are Number One, just cuz here. Okay, no good. It Bluetooth disconnected again. This is why I'm saying that this thing turned out like really terrible. Like it just, for some reason, it disconnects sometimes. So let me try reconnecting it again. Yes. Okay, supposedly it connected. Let's try it again. Ah, there we go, it's working. Let's turn up the volume here. There it is. I mean, that's kind of cool. Like, it's super gimmicky in my opinion, but it's kind of cool. So, yeah, so this is playing here. Like, as you can see, I'll pause it, and it should stop. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, play again. Come on. Play. There. Yeah. It seems kind of, well, it is kind of random, but if I put my finger up here, you can kind of see there's kind of like a bit of a, oh, maybe you won't be able to see it, but it kind of follows my finger slightly. So, let's turn up the volume a bit more. Does it do anything? No, changing the volume doesn't seem to do much. It actually seems to work better when it's at a really low volume setting there. Maybe it's just overloading it positive or something, but I guess that's why they had that diode in there. They only needed like a half a wave or whatever to trigger the thing. And yeah, that's interesting. Come on, focus. So basically the little balls that are in there, they would be like coated in like phosphor, and that's what makes the thing glow. Yeah. So, well, that was it. I mean, that's really all I wanted to do with this thing, is just wanted to see it work, and it's yeah, it's working. You can see there, it kind of follows me when I touch like this, the ring around here, and then if I put my finger down, it kind of follows it because I'm grounding it. So, well, it works. So I guess I hope that was kind of interesting. Like I said, yeah, kind of funky, but if you like this kind of stuff, remember to thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my stuff here on the workbench. Thanks guys for watching again. I'll see you guys around the bench.